beforehand. So, all right, we're recording this. So welcome everyone. This is Dominic Papalizio with GotSport. I have a colleague on the chat, Matt Flack. He's a colleague of mine. He will be answering questions if you have any throughout the demo/training session. He would be happy to answer them. If I get stuck up on something or there's anything that there's a lot of chat questions coming in, Matt will feel free to stop me and I can go over again, review, etc. But what I planned on doing today was starting from everyone's dashboard or organization dashboard. We're going to be creating an event, either a league or a tournament. We're going to go through all of that. Opening registration, how to accept teams, review what a team's application looks like. And we're going to start the creation of divisions and placing teams within divisions, flights, brackets, etc. So as I mentioned, and Matt had already posted here on the chat, what I will be going through, we already currently have a support article and he sent the link for everyone. So if they wanted to, cut and paste it or bookmark it, whatever you needed to do, that is what I will be going through for most of it, with additional changes that are, new upgrades and new things that have come out since that article. But I'm still admitting a couple of people here. I'm going to start with sharing my screen. And all right. So this, when you're logged in, sorry, a couple of people here. Last minute ads here. When we log into your organization, this is what your dashboard could look like. They are custom settings. So if your club or organization has already changed everything on the dashboard, then it would look different. But we're going to focus today on the left-hand side here. So if we went down to our scheduling tab, you'll see a few options. We're going to start with the competitions. When we click competitions, the competition, which is what you would start by creating, is kind of like an overall folder, right? So this could be a memorial tournament as an example. It could be just labeled as leagues. It could be labeled each year. You could put a new event into it, et cetera, et cetera. So this is your overall folder to host events. You could just have one competition if you run just one event. If it's just tournaments, you could just put in there as a tournament, as an example. Our types would match the type of event that you are doing, so a league or a tournament. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to focus on soccer. We do offer other sports, soccer. And the groupings for the majority of everyone on this call will be the gender, age, and level. If you need to report this event to a national governing body, they will be listed here for you already. So if it's a USYF or a US club or USSSA, or to your state associations, whatever it might be, you would have that option and you would check this box. And that would mean any event under this competition would fall or would be reported to that governing body. All right, so you can see in our demo here, I've got a few. I'm going to focus mostly on the tournaments tab today, but what I'll be going through is as well as leagues. So I've created my tournament competition. And as we scroll through here, you'll see I've created a memorial tournament 2021, an upcoming 2022, and a couple of demo accounts here as well as a separate tournament on the 4th of July. So I'm going to focus today on the demo account. But once you created your competition, you would create your new event. And you're going to notice these 8 boxes are going to be very similar. They're going to be the exact same actually when you create the event and we go to the event. So your name of your tournament, the start date and end date. For leagues, this can be very generic or very open. Once an event ends, teams or clubs, this is mostly for the leagues out there, will not have access to their rosters or their player passes if this is a governing body league. For tournaments, you obviously would like to just put the dates that you want to schedule games on, and they will be available for you once we get to the scheduling part. Seasonal year, as of August 1st, will be at the 21-22 calendar year. We also offer a school year. Your affiliate, USYS or US Club, USSSA, et cetera. And then this is where you could put your tournament website. Everything you do here is editable. So if you did something wrong or weren't showing the dates or the start or end dates for an event, and you need to go back and change it, you could do so. So new event over here once you create competition. So we went scheduling competitions, I'm inside a competition, and now I'm at the new events. I'm going to use my demo test event to kind of go through everything here. And you'll notice those first 8 boxes are right here. So what I had filled out, I created a tournament here for just a 2-day tournament to start. And I've got the Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th. So as if I needed to change something, if I didn't like the name or I misspelled something, you can obviously edit everything here, change the dates if need be, change seasonal year, etc. The event code, that is self-generated, nothing you need to do or change there. As we scroll down, we're going to work down this page for your event setup. Your accounting code and merchant. So if you have a merchant with us, it will be down here. A merchant profile would be the ability to select or accept credit cards and collect those payments. Your accounting code could be very unique to this event. This will help sort your billing accounts and be able to sort by this accounting code in your billing tab to quickly see who's paid, who's overdue, if you need to make credit card charges, if you need to enter a check, etc. So this accounting code is a very internal. This could be called, demo 21 as an example, or I guess 22, sorry, for the year the event is in. And then you'd be able to sort in your billing accounts for all demo 22s and see all of the billing accounts within this event. So as I continue to scroll down, the ability to upload the logo, this will appear on all of your public pages. And now on the public pages, that kind of goes right into my next one. What I've done in a few of these boxes is I've put a description of what this box means instead of an example of what you could put in there. So for this first box, the description, anything in this text box will appear on all of your public pages. Registration link, that is your public page, your applied teams or accepted teams, division/brackets. These would all be up to you if you decide to publish, which are right here on the right, and we'll get into that in a little bit, as well as your schedules page. So this will appear at the top of all of those public pages for your users, your teams, your managers, coaches, etc., to view and see. The welcome message, which we do have a little toggle. If you hover over these question marks, if there's anything there, it'll give a quick description of what they are. But this is a one-time pop-up. So if they were to click your link to register for your event, tournament, or league, they will see this as a pop-up, and they will have to acknowledge or X out of it. I have seen directors use this for marketing, right? Hey, this part of this tournament, part of this league is sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. Use this code for 15% off your next purchase or next online purchase as examples. I've also seen some put instructions in here, right? With the transition from GotSoccer, for anyone that's been using that, to GotSport. I've seen many people say, hey, if you're a first-time user, please click on this link and there's a help article for you. And a lot of that will redirect back to our support side. So just quick example of what I've seen that used for. If left blank, so if I were to delete all of this, it will not appear, and then that feature would never be there for a team to view. All right. As I scroll through, next, payment terms and refund policies. This is the final checkbox that teams will agree to when they are checking out and finishing the application. So whatever you put here would be that checkbox. I acknowledge, they hit checkout, and their application will then be submitted and completed. I've seen refund policies in here. I've seen payment information or anything they need to know about, anything regarding their payments would be in there, and the teams must agree to this box to complete their application. The notification emails. So you'll see we have 3 emails here. Anytime a team applies to this event, these 3 email addresses would get a notification that says the U12 Arsenal girls team has applied to the demo test event. And it will be in your inbox, and you can do what you would like with it. If you want to delete them, if you save those, that's up to you. But that is more of the notification. It is separated by just a comma. So I just wanted to point that out there, and no space. So you would just continue to type in any other person's email, test at GotSport, and that email address would get it starting now. They would get any other team application notifications. As those teams apply, they would then receive anything in this confirmation email text. So I've seen a lot of next steps. Congratulations, you have applied to XYZ event. Here are your next steps. If you pay by check, please send in the information. It's due by this date. If you have a housing company and you need to do book housing, please click here for the links, etc. But this is the confirmation email they will get. If left blank, they will get a standard, your team has been accepted to this event. So that U12 girls Arsenal team has been accepted to the demo test tournament. I jumped the gun. That would be the accepted confirmation, same thing. Your team has applied. I apologize. So applied, and then same thing down here. Once you as an event director accept the team, they will get, again, what is in here. And if left blank, it will be a standard email. But what is added here would be added to our standard acceptance email. So they would get your team is accepted to this XYZ event, and here are next steps for you for accepted and confirmation. The next few boxes here, entry details. This would appear on, and I apologize, I typed this in, on your registration public page only. So you had the description that appears on everything. This is a separate box that would appear only on the registration. So that U12 Arsenal team clicks the link to register. They would see anything about the description at the top of the page and anything that you put in here. If this is left blank, nothing appears. It's just a blank space. Schedule details, text in this box, same thing, will appear on only the schedule link. So recently, a few events have been using this for weathers, right? Major weather delay, please check the updated schedules. Game's been pushed back 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it might be. This will appear in bold red at the top of the schedule page only. Event alert goes on everything. So this is the overall, I need it to be on every single page of this event that's relative, and every team will see what is going on for that event. Preferred divisions, again, separated by commas. I just put in here gold, silver, bronze, and then I apologize because this kept everything together. There's no spaces, but this will be a selection made during the application process. You can make it required. So if we were to check that box off, they would not be able to continue on the application page without selecting either of these divisions, gold, silver, or bronze. Address, general location of your event. I would recommend at least putting the state in here. If you do allow clubs to directly enroll teams, meaning they don't have to click on the application link, they can, as a club admin, check. This state helps them find it faster because they can sort by state. And then make checks payable too. So, who you need to make it to if you accept checks and all of the information. So this page, I just want to kind of recap, it is a little bit long, but any changes that you make through here, please be sure to hit the save button. So even if you were all the way at the top here and we wanted to change the accounting code, just make sure you go to the bottom and and hit save. All right, I'm going to come back to the registration and public pages as we finish getting the application ready to open. So event info, and I will just be going through a few of these tabs here to get everyone ready, but the next one here is the application. So I've created a couple of our custom questions. This is where if you would like to capture any information from the teams during the application, this is where you could do so. So I've kind of created a few. If I were to hit edit on this one, are you available to play Friday night, right? Yes or no's. We have a couple options. If we didn't like the radio button look, we could do a drop down and the yes or no's would be options there. We could do check boxes, right? And they can select multiple, which I think was my second question here. Yep, how did you hear about the event? I gave them options. If I saw in Facebook and Twitter or marketing email and it was a referral, they could check multiple boxes off. So a couple options. Well, you create custom questions for you. You'll see a file field, which all the way down at the bottom here. Please upload an official roster. A check box, which would be I understand, so it's an acknowledgement. And I think I've gone through all of them. Text input would be them being able to type out what it would be. And then, like I said, drop downs, radio buttons, file fields, etc. So I had this radio button. As I scroll, you can now determine what page of the application. So if you had a lot of questions that you would like to be spread out, you can maybe have relative to your event, what days they could play or requests on one page, or you could change it to page 2 for maybe a bunch of checkboxes, acknowledgements, etc. I'm going to focus down here. Required means they must answer the question before they move on. Editable, meaning they've answered this question, and then after they've submitted their application, if it's 2-3 days later, they could go back and change this. So as an event director, how would you stop that? You would uncheck editable, hit save, and then whatever answer they have in there would be locked in at that answer. So as long as it's editable, they are able to go back and change it, and the change is live. So if they went from yes, and then they found out from the coach can't make it, they would say no. And if you were to export answers, which everything is exportable, you would see the no or the most recent one. While you're in here, you could also, rearrange the order. If you didn't like how this was, if you wanted to move this one up or this one, you can click, and it is a drag and drop. I could put this one all the way down at the bottom if I'd like to, and that would be the order of the events. But again, you still do have all the pages that you could change. This would just be all on page 1 of what it would look like. I'll keep that one up top. All right, so again, new form field, type in your questions and what type of response or answer you would like. And this is a live, as I type, you will see on the right-hand side. So you can see exactly what it would look like for the user. All right, and we're going to continue to work from left to right here. So I was in the event info, I went to the application. Now I'm going to go to fees and payments. I've created a few test ones here. So I've created an event fee 77, a 99, 11, as well as a payment plan option, which I'll review in a second. But if I were to click into one of these, I've named the fee. I've selected the gender for both. And I've made the age groups. And again, this is your event age group. So if you are near that seasonal year change, this would be for the upcoming season. And the teams will already know that while they're going through it, because they would select their upcoming season year, or they would automatically be aged up. So age groups, I'll come right back to this in a second. I put my initial fee. If you are limited, you could put the available. Again, you just want to keep in mind both genders, 9s through 10. So if you're limited maybe on 7v7 fields for this event, you could put a limit in here, right? So if I were to put 50, you'll notice that, well, hey, after 50, what would you like to do? Tell them, I'm sorry, you can't complete the application, or would you like to automatically waitlist them? If left blank, you will have unlimited and nothing to worry about. Teams can continue to select this fee and register for your event. Accept credit cards, accept checks. Something new, if you are used to GotSoccer, is yes, charge credit cards when someone registers. So what this would do is it would not need the acceptance. Is if a team registers and they select pay by credit card, that fee, the $500 up here, would be charged right away. And then active would be able, the ability to turn this event or this fee on and off for this event. So if you're like, oh, we are filling up, I didn't put a wait list, I need to just turn this off, you could do so. I wanted to kind of come back here. I mentioned about the club teams and organizations. You could create a fee for just one club. So if I were to come in here, I just have a test one here, and I selected Alliance Cincinnati, then any Alliance Cincinnati team, they would be the only ones that would see this $500 fee. Again, both genders, 9s and 10s. So when they're going through the application, they would see the overall fee for 9s and 10s, but they would also only see this, and that would only be the Alliance Cincinnati. So I've seen that used for discounts if you know a club is going to be registering individually. Yes, we still have vouchers, but this is just a different way to do it. And they would be able to select that fee for them, and they'd be the only ones that would see that fee. All right. So I've created a few here. I'm going to go to this payment plan, which is a option that you could do. So I've done all age groups, both. I did not assign any clubs or anything, keeping this very generic. I put my initial fee as $100, totally available for anyone, no limit on it. You would not want your checks. You would have a credit card only because this would auto pay. So as I came down here, I would select a new schedule fee. If I were to do that, this could be payment number 2. Now, this is how I created number 1, but if I had $200, I could select the due date. So the first one here is on 5/15. And if I said, you know what, I would like to do it on June 15th, a month later, I could do so and hit save, and they would have a initial fee, I'll scroll back up, of $100 charged. I would then have a payment plan, and this would be set as an auto pay. So with a credit card, they would just charge $450, and then a month later, $200 to their card. That would be setting up a payment plan. Not sure how many events would do that or need that, but it is an option, and I do know there are a few out there, so I didn't want to spend too much time, but I wanted to show it. Fees and payments, I'm going to continue to work to the right. Appearance tab, this is what your public pages will look like. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you kind of get a little customization. I uploaded that same logo here, and if I came back up, you could see the header background color. You know, yes, you can click into these and you have a big spectrum of colors, but we also have the eyedropper feature. If you clicked on it and you know, maybe you had a logo updated. If I really like that shade of blue, I could click on the blue, hit apply, and you'll notice on the right-hand side that updated right away. This update, yes, there's nothing to type in here, but this is just what it would look like from a public page side. And maybe this is one of your custom questions that you want them to type in. So if, you know, this box is your preview of what it would look like during the application, as well as your schedule. So up at the top here, this blue bar would be across the schedules page. You know, oh, maybe that's not great because the color isn't the best. So I want to go back and, you know, hit the red, hit apply, and now that looks a little bit better. So we have a bunch of, you know, what's what, the text colors, the background colors, etc. A couple other, you know, preferred fonts. We list a few. You know, if it's bold, italics, time format if you like military versus standard. Date format if it's dashes or years, time zones if you want to show the state. If you have a national event that comes from many states, you could have the state and that would show, you know, you Philadelphia Ukrainians would have Eastern PA next to them as an example on the public pages. So this is where you get to customize what your page looks like from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4th tab, we're almost there. Features. Features would be something you would add to their application. So you could see what I've created here was a late fee. I put in description, any team applying after the 15th would have to pay a $75 late fee. And it has a date here, so you don't have to go in and update fees or activate and deactivate. This would automatically get added to the application at $75 for anyone that is starting their application on 5/15 or later. You can assign that also to just certain plans. So 11v11s or 9v9s, you know, again, if you are creating plans for showcase age groups, whatever it might be, and you're starting to sell out there and you really need, you know, teams to register so you're filled up, but someone's trying to register late, you could do so. Payment plans, you can assign it to one. You also can create new features. Other feature I've seen would be maybe like an early bird special. So if we were to come in here and do that, early registration, you could talk about the description, assign it to all teams, or all genders, all age groups. And now this would be the same thing. Maybe you would start with an end date, right? That says, I would like everyone registered by August 1st. And you can put the date in. You can assign how many they can have or how many are available for your event. And now the difference here is you would want the minus button. So maybe you're giving a $25 you would just put the minus button in there. As you can see, as I'm coming through here, voucher codes, you get to create your own voucher codes. So you can see a couple of my tests, one here, virus 2020, and maybe, you know, because teams were hit even in last fall, you've got minus $200. And if teams are using this code, you would give the code out. They would be able to type in virus 2020 or 20 and have a $200 discount. So again, make that required, active, etc. If it's required, they would have to put a code in to move on. But if we were going back to the early bird special, a required would, they don't have to do anything. They would just get the discount at the end automatically because it's prior to the end date. So that would be the features. So biggest things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs. Once these 5 tabs are completed, then you would be ready to open your registration. So we're going to go back to the event info. And on the right-hand side here, you'll see registrations and a couple of options. One, and the most basic one, the most commonly used, would be application open. And I'm going to hit save. And you'll notice right now it doesn't have a link, but as I hit save, the link, there you go. Now there's the link. So a team could click on the link. You could cut and paste, post it on your site. Just click here to register. And this is where they would click to start the application. In the application form, once that's open, we do give you a few options. You know, include a team roster, meaning a coach or manager step. So they would have to assign a coach or manager to your event. Include a roster setup. This would be the teams must complete their actual roster prior to the end of the application. Not commonly used, but has been there. Require a user to select a club. So if the team is being created for the first time and they are creating the team, this would require them to select a club to affiliate them with. And background checks to register, meaning all the coaches that are signed up have their completed background checks per your national organization or affiliation. Allow clubs to directly enroll. What this would do is this would bypass all of the questions that we answered and not the selections of fees, but the credit card payments. So if we were to check this box off and a club went into their account, they would be able to search for your event, so demo test event, check off the 5 teams that are playing and hit submit. They would not answer any of these questions that you custom made, and you would invoice the club to pay for those teams, not the individual teams. So a little bit, you know, a little different there, where you could quickly get teams to directly enroll and then invoice the club, but you would not gather information. Allow club registration form. What that is a club admin could do the same thing. They could go in, search for your event, and then click next to each team, the application form, which is just a link to this. So it is, instead of the event director looking for your link, they could quickly do it through their club account and register. And then this last one, nobody on this call would be needing that. But if you would like to know more about it, please reach out. So now that the event is open, you could post your link and teams could go through registrations. So as I kind of come back to the top, you've opened everything up, teams are starting to apply. You would start to focus here on the team registration tab. And as you kind of scroll through here, have filters to quickly look up teams, statuses, etc. But this would be the list of your teams that have applied. So my team name is Premier 08, the club, you know, obviously the event, the date it was created, the event age, genders. If they had a preferred division that was required, it would pop up here. And now I'm going to focus a little bit here on the statuses. So something new here is completed. So if a team starts the application, answers your questions, and gets to the payment section, they would have earned a green check mark. Submitted means they have done this above. So they've completed, answered all your questions. Then they've selected a fee and agreed to your payment terms. So if you remember from the beginning of this, I mentioned one of the boxes were the payment terms, and that was the final step. They would have submitted their application or submitted their payment to you by agreeing to it. So the ideal is while you're looking through this, you would like to have 2 green check marks, and that means the team is fully registered for your event. If they don't have those check marks, it means they just have been left off somewhere. So somewhere new is if somebody clicks on your link and starts the application and then they get busy, they would have all red X's, and you could send a message. Again, I'm going to just click, and you could do this in bulk as well, just so you know if you needed to, you had a sort or a filter and you wanted to do all pending applications, you could do so. And you could hit a send message, and you'd be able to quickly type in right down here, hey, your team has not yet completed the application. Please click on the link and you'll have a continue button. So again, if this team was not completed or submitted, they would be able to click on the registration link, and next to their team name would say continue, and it would pick up exactly where they left off so they could complete the application and submit the application. So those are 2. We can go through a couple others, scenarios if anything comes up with that, but I wanted to kind of touch upon what you're looking at here on the right-hand side. Active is accepted. So again, if we were, you could do it a couple ways. You could do them in bulk. If I were to check off a few, hit edit registration, and you'll see all of those 6 options on the right will appear up here as well. So accepted/active, if I were to hit true and hit save, it would accept all of the teams and they would have 3 green check marks. You could also, if I uncheck these here, you could also go in team by team, or if you just have a one-off, click on the team name, scroll to the bottom, and you'll be able to sit active accepted and hit the save button. On this page is where you also have the ability to type in any kind of notes. You could edit their name for your event only. You cannot touch the team. That is what's labeled in the club, but you can edit that if need be. Only the event directors have access. If they registered for the wrong age group or you need to move a team up, you can select their event age group. You could check their registration, and if they had questions answered, and for this demo purposes, I just bulk enrolled them, but if they enrolled, you could view them, but this is what they would also be able to hit editable, and now this is what they would see as well. So from their end, any questions that were editable, you can see that this checkbox was not editable, but if I needed to change an answer, this is what they would see, or you could change it for them and hit save as well. Right, roster, scheduling requests, history, et cetera, et cetera. So again, 2 check marks, just to recap, is meaning that the application is completed and ready to go for you to accept. Active would be accepted. And again, multiple ways, multi-check boxes or individual teams. So teams are now registering. You've created your event, you've opened it up, teams are now registering. And as you start to accept teams, click payments, keep this open, do your last push for your event, league or tournaments, we're going to start to look at the divisions. And this is where I'm going to end a little bit of this call today because I've been throwing a lot at you. But we're going to come back up to the top here and click the scheduling. When we click the scheduling tab, it will bring you to your divisions tab. You want to create a new division. When we click new division, it will give you the options of name. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. All right. So if I wanted to call this the U14 Boys Gold Division, catching up to me here, my computer was slow. Gold Division, males, age group, U14. Tiers are the priorities, if you guys are, remember that from GotSoccer, if you've used us in the past. If not, this is the level. So your top flight would be a 1, your second flight would be 2, third flight, etc. Max teams could be a very generic number to start because you can always edit this. So what I've liked about this new feature is that we're able to add, and when we add, the information will stay up top. So if I needed to create a lot of divisions for the first time, silver, I'm going to just change this over to 2, hit add. Now I've just created my 2 divisions. And now we are going to focus on going into the division and adding the team. So again, you can continue to update this information. It will update here for you. If you make a mistake, you can click edit and it will filter just that one division. We're going to filter now that I've created a 14 male. I'm going to be able to click on it. And as soon as this appears, you're going to see the 2 divisions and the ability to add teams. So here we go. So I've created my 14 boys gold. You'll see I've made it a group of 4. But if I was a league and this is going to be a group of 14, you can edit the number right from here and hit enter. And you'll notice that this all expands from A1 all the way down to A14. And the solo division is still a group of 4 as an example. If we were to make this a group of 4 for most of the tournaments that might be on the call here, you'd be able to add a new bracket. And so this would be a bracket A. If I click new bracket, I can make a bracket B and make that 4 teams as well. 4, and hit save. Page, that's my screen size. Pretty small, and they will line up next to each other for the bracket A and bracket B. There you go, bracket A and bracket B. So I've got 2 divisions of teams. If I were to have 12 total teams in this division, I would be ready to start adding teams. So you'll see the big add team button. I would click the add team. This is one way. I'm going to show you the other way. And a list of your teams for this age group will appear. So you'll see these are all my U14 teams. If they had preferred divisions, it'd be listed here as well. Active, accepted, same thing. You would see maybe if you did not accept a team, Team Tennessee, if you did not accept them, they would not have a check. So you would know not to place them in there in one of your divisions. But you could simply click on a team and they would fill in the A1 spot. The other way to add a team, we have created a pop-out and you'd be able to drag and drop teams from here into their spots as well. Very similar to how you would drag and drop games for anybody who's used to or has used GotSoccer before. And you can continue to update and you'll see that they've updated and the list gets smaller as you go on. So that is creating your divisions. You can always come back if you said, okay, maybe I just want to create all my divisions before I actually start to put the teams in because I'm still accepting teams, because you'll know you at least have 9s through 14s if it's a younger one. You can continue to hit new division and build all of them. And you'll notice I put 4 in there, and because I adjusted it at the flight level, it already changed to 8. So it's a quick overview for you as an event director. So I've kind of went through all the way up to what I would say is most event directors' deadlines, right? Because once the deadline passes, we're going to start looking at the, creating templates, scheduling, which we will do a call in a few weeks, very similar to this to review all of that. But today's call had kind of wrapped up the creating your event from scheduling competitions down to the event, creating the event, going through these first 5 tabs, opening your application. It's just a little quick recap. And then as teams start to apply, what it looks like under team registrations, and then the scheduling tab here for creating your divisions. So with that being said, I went 40 minutes. That's perfect. It's had to be between 40 and 45. Matt, did I unmute you?
Yeah, we got a few.
Perfect.
Just a few questions that we didn't get to. Is the team application list available to know how many you need in the bracket?
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't.
So it was. Is the team application list available to know how many you need in a bracket? And that was from Jill.
How many are in a bracket? So maybe I'm not understanding it, but once I go to the divisions, it shows how many teams have applied for that division. Is that going to answer your question? So if I came back to this U14 male, sorry, I apologize. Where I am, it's storming, so I think my internet's a little slow. So if I were to pop this out, it will say up top here, 17 applied, 2 have been accepted. 14 have been unassigned, because if you see here, 1, 2, 3 have assigned 3 teams, one unassigned accepted team, etc. Is that answer the question? Apologize.
Yes, Jill says perfect. So that was a good
Okay.
one. I got one more
Awesome.
before just the general 2. I think I've covered all the questions. Can you allow teams to edit their name?
Teams cannot edit their name, and the reasoning behind, after the application, teams cannot edit their name. In the club account, that would be up to the club to change their team name. We have found in the past that a team might register as Black 06, and then they change it on an event director to Lightning, and that's it. And they're like, wait, where did my Black 06 team go? And now they have no clue who the Lightning team actually is, and they have to, kind of put the pieces together. But just a reasoning behind that question.
Perfect. And I've just what I'm going to just post on the side. I know, as Dominic has spoke about at the start, this is going to be kind of a 2. We've got 1 or 2 more sessions on. I believe 1 more session on what everything Dom has covered today, and then after, did we say August? We're going to have the part 2, where it's just going to be about
first week of August.
First week about scheduling.
Yep.
So everybody who got it today,
Exactly right.
we'll try and send out the link for part 2.
Yep.
And then the video, it will be posted on our support sessions. If you can just go to support in the top right, Dom.
Yep. So what I was going to say was, if you're on your dashboard, everyone scrolls down, they will see at the bottom here, they will see a support tab. If they were to click on the support tab, it will take them right to here. And you'll notice that we have an event director section. So if we were to click on the event directors, this is a lot of the most common used ones. We will post this video here, but we'll also post it on some of the articles that might be very relative to this, like creating a tournament competition, creating your league. So we'll also get this link posted, which Matt had posted this link already for you guys. And this is kind of what I went through, right? We started with this competitions, creating a new competition, etc. So we'll make sure that we get the link posted up top here if you'd like the video versus the step-by-step screenshots.
Yeah,
so,
and I've got a couple more questions just as they come in.
Okay.
Is we've got can a team from out of state that doesn't have a GotSport account register for the tournament with their GotSoccer team account that they use for other tournaments in other states?
They cannot. So GotSport is a separate platform from GotSoccer. The teams, once a GotSport account is created, the team will have the ability to put in the GotSoccer ID number, but that only will help for history, rankings, points, etc. So all teams will have a new GotSport account, and if the event is run in GotSport, which is what we're showing today, they will have to have a GotSport account.
Perfect. And then we've just got a FISA GotSport questions. Can we access state forms to declare facilities and requests in GotSport?
Can they access state forms? Is that what you said?
Correct. Can we access state forms to declare facilities and requests in GotSport?
You can create a form for an event application and make it required for teams to fill out, if that's answering their questions. I think I can follow up with a state organization or state league outside of this call regarding what they're asking, just to make sure that I'm explaining it or getting it correctly. And as Matt mentioned before, I will be going through very similar demo here based on the questions that we had gotten today through the chat or any follow-up questions that we get. I might adjust it a little bit for next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. The same thing that we had gone through. If you wanted to watch or listen in again, it will be a live one, just like we are doing now. And like I mentioned, just maybe a slight adjustment based on the feedback that we're getting from you as event directors of what, you know, I need to touch upon more or less on, etc. So I will do that next week. And then we've kind of left off at that scheduling and creating your divisions. So once we go through, 2 of these sessions, have them posted, I will then start to go through, 3 live sessions of scheduling tournaments, leagues, and we're going to separate them because that's where it gets a lot different. Days games are generated on, templates, playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll dive into that in early August for tournaments and leagues. So I think I'm gonna stop my share here and finish up the call. We mentioned about the support links. The other would be is if you wanted to jot this down, or I could type in the email address at clubs@GotSport. That would be the best email address to send questions to regarding this. I'm just typing this, sorry, update my chat. There we go. clubs@gotsport.com. There are about a dozen of us that are checking that email throughout the day, so we'd be happy to get back to you. Matt, did you get a chance to post the link for the one-on-one sessions? Sorry, I don't know if you had a chance for that. Matt's still there? Sorry, Matt. Yeah. All right, well, we will get a link on that same website here. Sorry, the same support link that we're going to post this video on. I'll make sure that we get the link to get a one-on-one session with, and we can set up time to review setting up your account or setting up your event, etc. So, I just got a message. There we go. Matt, I think I unmuted you.
Perfect. Yeah, I've just put in the chat
Okay.
the link
Sorry
for
about
what.
Oh, there you go.
The chat for the link to one-to-one.
Perfect. Perfect. Yep. So if anyone wants to look at that link, again, bookmark it, cut and paste it, throw it onto a note section, you could do so. We're also gonna, it's in the recording right now. I'm kind of putting my cursor over it, but yeah, we should be good to go. So thank you everyone that joined. We will be doing this next week, and we'll get those links posted and send an email to everybody who had signed up for this demo/training session. We'll let you know that it is live and where to go to review this. So thank you again, everyone. Have a good day, and we'll catch up to you soon.